I were to look at this little bargain with a secret garden. But look at the views from here. On this grey, wet, miserable day. I'm a Brit, so if we don't like rain, we don't go out. That lead out onto this humongous terrace. So today we are back in stunning Fara San Martino. Been here quite a few times, as you know, so I'm only going to do a little run around the centre. Beautiful, beautiful town. Very, very popular with expats. Number of services here, including post office, shops, mini markets, supermarkets, B&Bs, all that kind of thing. And we are right on the edge of the Maiella National Park, which unfortunately is clouded with a little bit clouded. Yeah, clouded. That's what you'd say, wouldn't it? Clouded with a little bit of clouds. Does that make sense? But look how incredible it looks with the dark clouds there in the canyon of Fara San Martino. That's incredible. If you've not seen that video, have a look at that on our channel. So this is right in the very, very centre. The property we're going to see today is you could get to it here on foot, but it's in the lower parts of the town, and it's another one with a secret garden that is absolutely fantastic. What a bargain as well at this price. So I'm looking forward for you to see this one. I've been wanting to video it a while, but I've just not had a nice enough day to do it, and even today unfortunately is a little bit cloudy, but it needs to be done. Okay, so as I said, the town has a bit of everything. A great little bar here in the centre, and then you're very close to towns such as Lama di Peligna, Casoli 10 minutes away, Palombaro 10 minutes away. So you're right in the thick of it. Get to the coast in about 40 minutes, get up to the main ski resorts in about 40 minutes. So an absolute superb location. I'm ready to look at this one. I'm ready to look at this little bargain with a secret garden. Let's do it. Okay, so I've come down to the bottom of the town. It really doesn't want me to video today. This weather, it's just starting to rain. Fantastic. So this is the bottom area of the town. Down here, you probably can't hear it on the video, but down here is the famous green river and picnic areas. I don't know if you can see it just through the gaps in the trees. The beautiful crystal clear streams that run into the pasta factory that's here in Fara San Martino, and this is obviously the main Gol di San Martino it's called, which translates as the Canyon of Saint Martin, if you want to say that. And you literally just walk up here. So it's an amazing part of Fara San Martino. The old town is sort of behind us and higher up. So this is where you would park your car, where I've parked here, and the house, I'm going to take you for a little bit of a walk. So anywhere along here, if you've got a small car, you can actually drive up to the house, and you do have a garage, but you'll see what I mean why you need a small car in a second. Look at the amazing scenery, and this is what you get from your garden as well, from your secret garden. Okay, so we've got a couple of expats that have just bought along here. Turn right, so you've got a good few neighbours here. Sorry about that, my video cut off. So if you've got a small car, so I'm talking, we could actually get a larger car up here, to be fair. It's just this part here that's a bit narrow. Just beyond this salmon coloured building is where the garage is, you'll see in a second. So you can actually drive up here and into your garage. You might have to manoeuvre around to come back down, but it can be done. It can be done. But look at this. Look how amazing this is. Are you ready to have a look? Are you ready to have a look at your secret garden? Let's take it from the top of these steps. So from the top of the road, Look at the beautiful, steep, sheer mountainside. Beautiful. You know, I've just been saying to Claudio that this dog is the most well-behaved dog in the world. Never barks. As soon as I press record, he barks. Anyway, so this is your garage. Huge garage with a terrace on top. And the house, you'll see how that works. It's this bottom part of this house, and down here and round here is your secret garden. So I'll get to that shortly. You can imagine the views, can't you, when you if you just look what's sneaking around that corner. Let's look at the garage first, because this is enormous. What would you do with this? Maybe you turn it into some sort of studio. Who knows? But it is massive. Or you could use it as a garage. You'd just have to do a few bits of manoeuvring, maybe 3-point turns out here to get back down that hill, but it could be done. There is electric down here, but it looks very old. But to be fair, for the price of this, it's I don't think you could expect any more. So obviously these areas are under the house. This has been used as the typical cantinas, so where you make wine and that kind of stuff. But again, great size. And then this must have the plumbing in, or they must have wanted to do some sort of bathroom possibly in here. But it's another, I'm not sure if that is it. I think they've just used it as storage actually for a bathroom. But if I remember rightly, in the house, the bathroom is above here somewhere. So, in fact, yeah, I think it's directly above that room. But this is enormous. Ceiling heights have got to be 4 meters. Let's give you an idea of the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So almost 8 meters by 1, 2, about 4 meters. So great size. And you imagine you've got a terrace as well above this, the same size. Good start? Has to be, doesn't it? Especially for this price, it's ridiculous. If you're doing some sort of studio hit down here, or something similar to that, a taverna, where you would come and have parties and that kind of thing, if you're that way inclined, then you could maybe have sort of nice smoked glass or something like that there. It's very private up here anyway, but obviously there are people that live here, and this one looks like there's people in as well, so it's not... This one doesn't, but look how beautiful this stone building is. And there are a few neighbours with chickens around this corner. And the dog with the bluest eyes, here he is, or she, not sure. Hey! There you go. And your secret garden, are you ready for this? I was really hoping the sun was going to be out, but it's decided not to, but we're going to carry on. Because just look at these views. How stunning are these views? I think it actually looks even more atmospheric. The fact that it's got the clouds running through the mountains. So there's obviously people living in these houses to my left as well. That looks like a parrot. We've got all sorts of wildlife here. Absolutely. But I love the fact that it has these garden areas right in the middle of town, and especially with that view. So the garden, I can hear you saying, which one's mine, which one's mine? First of all, I'm just going to quickly... This is part of the house, but it's on the ground floor, the property. So it's almost like an apartment. The place upstairs belongs to the brother or the sister of the owner of this one, but they want to keep it. I think they live in Rome and they come here on their holidays. If you're wondering what's the exotic bird sound, it's some birds that's underneath. I never thought I'd hear exotic birds in Fara San Martino. But look at this. Absolutely incredible. And the garden, it just started raining quite a lot then. Claudia was just saying it's the first time we've done a video in the rain, but there you go. So the garden is this up to this fence here. So it's sort of an L shape. I'll wade through the wet for you, don't worry. Obviously it's not being cut or anything, but this is... Just put a foot down down a hole. I'm carrying on. I'm carrying on. Okay. So should I stop and start again? No, I'm not gonna. That's gonna go on the outtakes show. So the garden actually comes to this part here and joins a path that's just up there that other people used to get into their gardens. And from here, don't know what kind of trees these are. Usually Italians put fruit trees in, but look at the views from here on this grey, wet, miserable day. When behind us are blue skies. I'm going to spin round now to show you the house. So the house is this lower part. The upper part, they get to their apartment from the side there. But the great thing with this is you've got this garden and you've got that huge garage at the ridiculous price. Obviously this person's storing wood. Looks like a circus tent. But it would be easy to make this private. A little bit of planting along here. But to be fair, people just use them either to store wood or to do, and it's a nice way to speak to you, get to know your neighbours. But this area here I think would make a beautiful patio area, and then looking out, as I say, to this, which is stunning, you've got to admit. And you can hear the water from the pasta factories, or from where the pasta factories channel the water from the mountain. You can hear it from here, so it's absolutely amazing. So it is a great sized garden and a great surprise. Claudio's hiding under the stairs now because it's just drizzling with rain. Italians don't like rain. I'm a Brit, so if we don't like rain, we don't go out. Anyway, are you ready to look inside? It's going to be a quick video. You need to have a little bit of imagination because there's nothing in there, and there's no electrics or anything, so it's, you know, it's not going to be the best video in the world. But for this price, I just had to show it you. Are you ready? Let's do it. Okay, so we've got the garden there. Claudio's just told me now that, obviously I'll show you in the house in a second. You have this here, belongs to the property, so this is a little terrace. Easily get tables and chairs out on that. But the apartment above, they use this staircase to get up there because they're brother and sister, I think. But after this staircase, so they obviously have the right of passage here, but this area here, at the side of your apartment, this part belongs to the house. Presuming it goes up to this wall, nobody else has access to that, so that you could easily put some nice plants and things like that back there. Looks like there's possibly somebody else's garden up there, but you get this space as well, which is actually quite a good space. And the people that live above, well, they don't live there, it's just holiday home, so you can have a nice patio area out here to shade you from the sun, which you don't need that today, and possibly as well, maybe even knock yourself a door through here, possibly, or from the other side. Certainly got options there, so it's a great extra amount of space. It has a lot of outside this place, to be honest with you. And I really like this as well, the fact that I know it's the entrance to the house, but it would serve as a terrace as well, and you could easily sit a couple of chairs out here if you don't want to sit in the garden. Maybe you could have some sort of cover here on days where it is like today, where you can easily sit outside but the weather's not great. And this is a great space before you head into the property. And again, those views, strange, isn't it? You're just a metre higher. You can see the little church at the bottom down here. You get another effect almost. Then obviously you can see the garden better from here. that runs down here and then up to the left in that corner. I've said it before, but are you ready to see the property? Let's do it. Okay, so we have the wood doors. They need sanding down and rubbing down, I think, to get them back to their original state, but they are good quality doors, nice and heavy. And the place does need work, but as I keep saying, for the price, it's ridiculous. So you walk into this long corridor. It's a very simple layout. I'm going to tell you what I would do. It depends how many bedrooms you need, but I will tell you what I would do, and then it's up to you. Each room has these beautiful double doors. Well, not each room, but I think most of them do. And we have the first room, which this has the access to the outside that you could potentially do. This room's about 5 meters across by about 380, 390 this way. So great sizes. Now, if you need 2 bedrooms, this would be a bedroom for me, and you'll see why as we go around. The windows, it's your favourite moment. They are single glazed, but they're wide enough to probably chip out and put double glaze in there. But we do have companies that do windows and things like that, so you could do it. But I do like these old-fashioned ones with the shutters on the inside. But the company that we use, a big shout out to Finamore, they also do modern versions of these. But then you've got this beautiful bright window out here. I was tempted to think you could maybe knock through and do a door, but because this place needs central heating, or you'd put air conditioning, that kind of thing in it, splits, then if you put central heating in, then this would be a place for radiators. So beautiful picture window looking over that garden as well. You know, this property, the more and more I'm in it, this is a rental property or as a holiday home or even a home, it would be fantastic, really would. Then this then goes out to that space on the outside. Imagine making all this nice and tiling it, growing some plants there at the top, some flowers and all that kind of stuff. It would just look incredible. And this view is just outstanding. You would definitely have your bed up against this wall here if it was to be used as a bedroom. So I'm thinking of a 2-bedroom layout. Obviously you'd have a lot more space if it was 1, but I think you would easily get 2. And what I would do then, as we walk down this corridor, we have another room similar to that. Again, double doors and similar sort of layout. Sorry for the echoey sound. This here behind, that is, you're obviously built slightly under the ground. What the owners were going to do is take this off and reveal the stone, because that's what you do in when you have things like this, and you put a different type of plaster in to help it breathe. Some people put a wall, sort of bring it in a little bit to leave spaces for it to breathe, but it's certainly not wet. It's they've obviously done some work in the past, but it's not wet at all, and we are in winter time, and we haven't had rain, and the place is closed up. So this can be, just take all the plaster off, and obviously have a look behind as well. But sometimes when houses are slightly under the ground, there's not a lot you can do. In fact, let me have a look and see what. Yeah, there is. It looks like maybe a road or something, or some sort of path up here. So you are underneath here. So it is normal what happens. Even from this garden, you could probably do with putting a drain up here somewhere, some sort of French drain, because that's obviously going to run into the corners as well. But this can be sorted out. It happens in so many houses here, and it certainly doesn't smell damp or anything like that. Okay, so you've got a great size room in here as well, which again, if you need 2 bed, I would use this as a second bedroom. Then what I would do is, this is a bit of a nothing room. Unless you wanted 1.5 beds, and I'll explain how that would work. This is not a double, it's more of a single. Reasonable size, and looks out onto the terrace, which I'll show you in a second. So you could have a door there if you wanted to, but because it's not a particularly large bedroom, I would want to put an archway or something like that into the kitchen area and have this as a living dining kitchen area, and then your 2 bedrooms. If you don't need 2 bedrooms, but you'd like the option of maybe a single bed, maybe you've got grandchildren coming or children, if you wanted to, then you could have this as a bedroom and the one that we went in before as a lounge with that really nice window looking over the valley, and then you could keep this as a single bed if you wanted to. So you've got a few different options here. The reason why I would leave this as a bedroom is because obviously the views are a little bit more limited and you're closer to the bathroom. So a small bathroom again needs to be done, but at this price, what would you expect? It does have a hot water tank, but if you're going to put central heating in here, then you wouldn't need that. I mean, really, this one, I've an extremely good clean, because that shower, I don't think I would get that in that with my shoes on. And that's just a one Dave. That's a Dave struggling getting in the shower. But you could easily change it around. Smaller sinks, that's quite a big sink to go in here. A bigger shower at the end, just reconfigure it a little bit. You could do that with no problem at all. If you're ripping a bathroom out, putting a new bathroom in, you should always consider between 3,000 to 5,000. Between 3,000 and 5,000 euros, I would say. Depending on the tiles you're going to choose, the suite you're going to use, and all that kind of stuff. Then we have a kitchen. This is where the kitchen was plumbed in, and I think I would not move it from here. Because, why is that? Because we have a fireplace here, so it's great to have a fireplace in the kitchen. Obviously you've got the water in the drain, so you'd have the kitchen going along this side. You'd either take the fire out, I wouldn't, but or keep it. But if you did take it out, obviously you could have quite a big L shape. Then depending what you're doing, because this is the wall that I was telling you about to go into that other room. So if you wanted a nice archway to go into that other room, you could. And remember that these houses will be made of stone as well. This is not wood, by the way, this is plastic. Oh yes, it's the better material. Looks fantastic. Anyway, nice floors again. The floors I should have shown you before. The floors are similar all the way through, apart from this room that has these tiles. All the rest are all matching, so these can be polished up to look really nice. But the other great thing about having the kitchen here is these beautiful double doors that lead out onto this humongous terrace. So this is the same as the garage downstairs. This is huge, absolutely huge. There is a house to the right that's been restored by the looks of it. It looks like somebody lives there, but they don't have terraces, so they're not going to be bothering you. But even if you put a few planters, a few, I don't know, olive trees, something like that, obviously you can't block their views up to the mountains, but here it's very private anyway. What a great sized terrace, and you do get that huge mountainside and the distant church bells if you heard them. What a bargain property this is. It's just unbelievable. And again at the end, look at this. The great thing about this is you're in the town, but it's so quiet. So this is stone. Imagine putting something out, one of those sun shades. I know you don't need it today, but it would just be so nice. And the buildings next to you have all been restored, so you know there's no problems with neighbouring buildings. What an amazing property. So as I said, I'm stood on top of the garage, which if you remember, that's the street that came up. I just love this sheer rock face that's coming through in the middle of these amazing buildings. And I say in this area, you're certainly not on your own. Big shout out to Dennis and Vivian that live here. Amazing. What a place. What a bargain. What are you thinking, folks? Let me know in the comments. Are we ready to do final thoughts? Let's do it. So final thoughts, starting from the secret garden and these unbelievable views that, I say it is a grey day, but doesn't it still look amazing? The way the clouds come through here is just incredible. And this walk is amazing. I will put a link to the video that I did doing this walk to the monastery that's in there. It's unbelievable. You have to watch that video. I'll make sure that I'll put that in the description below. But it's brilliant to have all this outside space. You've got this brilliant garden that you could really make this nice, really make it nice. Then you've got what I'm stood on now, this terrace. You've got the other patio area round the other side, round here to our left. You've got that huge garage, you've got the huge terrace, and you've got simple living. Yes, it needs restoring, but we've got the people here. We've got the people here that will do it. Been speaking to an English guy that I've known for a while, who's registered, and he can take care of all the building work. We've got English speaking geometers, we've got everybody that you need here. So it's so simple. And it's worth doing it here. Even if you spend the same again, you would have an amazing place in this superb location. But you may not want to spend that much. You may just want to do bathroom and kitchen and just do what you can, just slowly move in. The electrics and obviously heating need looking at. There are electrics here, but it's the old ones, so it would be best to change all of that. But at least you're reserving your space in Italy. And each room they're just the great sizes, absolutely superb sizes. And considering there's no electric on, I've put a couple of lights on, but the lights, there's one in the bathroom and there's one here. So that's the only artificial lighting that we've put on. So you can see how bright none of the bedrooms have any lights in there. Absolutely superb. Really nice high ceilings. These have got to be 3.5 meters. They have to be. And then the option then of knocking through with an archway into the kitchen, that would be really, really nice. Have a living kitchen dining area. Maybe you don't want to do it that way. Bathroom, a little bit small, but you could still easily reconfigure this around a little bit and you could get a nice double-sized, double-Dave shower in there. Change where the sink is. You could easily move things around in there. And then obviously you've got this great kitchen. Reveal a little bit of stone, keep the fireplace, and then you've got access to this amazing terrace. Come on, ladies, you've got to admit, $39,900 all in, including all your fees and all your taxes, in this amazing town with all this outside space, huge garage, garden. Do I have to sound like a cheap salesman? Surely I don't need to convince you of this. Surely not. And if you look back at some of our Meet the Home buyers, especially the recent ones with Dennis and Vivian, but also we've got Carmen as well, and on his, there's a few people here in Fara San Martino. They will all tell you how amazing it is, just like all the other towns are. And look, the blue skies are just starting to come through. What an incredible place. Okay folks, thank you so much for your support as usual. Do not miss this one. Whatever you're doing, stop, jump on the email, send an email to info@homeinitaly.com and get ready to go through our simple 5-stage process and buy this online with us holding your hand all the way through. Whatever you do, whatever you're doing, do not miss this one.